Okay, there we go. Had a few false starts there. Having pretty poor bandwidth up, I guess. Okay. So where were we? I've been doing a lot of refactoring off stream and working on the uninteresting kind of infrastructural plumbing regarding building files and publishing the release and that kind of thing. We don't really care about any of that on stream. It's very, very boring. So tonight what I think I'd like to do, though, is take a step away from that boring stuff and work a bit on what I think is the last actual game mechanic to implement. Okay, there are two more mechanics to implement. What I want to do tonight, though, is a unit repair mechanic. I want it such that if a unit is on a city tile at the beginning of a turn, that unit recovers, I guess, let's just say 1 power point. Up to a maximum of 10 or whatever. I think that's what I want. And again, I'm pretty sure the code I'm going to write tonight is going to be gross, but that, again, is fine. The plan will be, as it's been this whole time, is let's write some bad code, figure out what we're trying to build, and once we have a better understanding of that, then we'll go back and we'll refactor. So let's jump into it here. I'm on a repair topic branch. And for tonight, the gross solution will be to just, I guess, tack all this crap in the turn end method. I was thinking a little bit about this offline. I think what I want to do probably is refactor this kind of primary battle loop to be sensitive to state flags, and that'll allow us to move a lot of the code that's kind of deeply nested. Let me turn down my music, it's kind of too loud. I can't hear myself. That'll allow us to take some of this code that's deeply nested and in the wrong place. Like we have like attack code that's buried in like the targeting menu. That's a gross. So I want to refactor that and instead just set state flags and then move a lot of that kind of deeply nested logic into a more appropriate location within the update loop, the battle update loop specifically. But again, we don't care about that now. Tonight we're going to write some more bad code and we're going to refactor it later. So let's see here. First, let me just make sure I remember correctly that we can actually use this hook. Oops. For testing this. I also did some art offline. We have this waifu character here, and then this kind of aggressive-looking general guy. I think I'm going to have enough cartridge space now to actually have a proper full single-player campaign with the story and stuff, and the 3 characters in the game will be these 2 characters and then you Commander, in the second person. I think that'll be pretty good. I'll probably do the actual writing off stream because I don't, want to spoil my game. But, okay, yeah, let's make sure that we move somebody end or turn. Okay, and there's our turn end written to standard out, so that is correct. So what do we want to do? We want to check when a turn ends. We need to iterate over each unit associated with the player whose turn is beginning, and determine if they're on a city tile, and then do the repair if so. And then there's going to be a bunch of camera animations and crap too to work out. let's just do this the real bad way right now. This is like absolutely not where this code should go, but again, I don't care right now. Let's loop over state.map.units, I think. Let's iterate over each unit and pairs over state.map.units, I think, and let's just print out what unit.player. Again, we're going to refactor all of this later. I just want to step through this. Forgot how to play my own game. Oh, shit. Forgot how to play my own game. Empty index map. State. Oh, it's staged now, right? When I refactored the last time, I renamed map to stage to help make a distinction between the code I've written and the pick-away inbuilt map concept. Stupid. Let's make sure I remember what that unit looks like. Was it player? Yeah, player. Didn't output anything. Why is that? Oops. I also want to make a switch to disable the story stuff, because I don't need to see it when I'm developing. But okay, that worked. So what? We only care about units that belong to the current player, which by here is represented in state.player. So if unit.player is equal to state.player, then in another language, I would invert this language and do if not unit player state.player continue exit early to remove some of this nesting. But Lua doesn't have a continue statement, which is kind of unfortunate in my opinion. So if this works, I should go end my turn and then we'll see 2 written out 5 times. Let's see if I got that right. Because I'm player 1. End our turn. Oh, this player is a player table, not the integer. There we go. Okay. So now, okay. I think there's a pick-await native method fget mget, something like that. But I guess first we need to determine the let's see. We're going to need to know the unit's cell position in the vocabulary of my game here, and then add to the cell position the stage offsets, and then that should normalize to the pick-await mget coordinates, I think. Let's see that step by step. So let's print h. It's cell.x, cell.y. So let's print h. xy shall be player dot cell dot x. Did I create a util thing? I think I did. I got tired of writing that, right? What did I do? Debug.log? Is that right? Whatever, I don't feel like. Unit dot. That's not a unit player. Unit dot cell x, unit dot cell y, and then that should give us the position. Let's turn on our debugging while we're at this. Debug show true. Yeah, that's correct. And then to normalize to what pick-await wants to see, stake.stage.cell. I think it'll be this. I think that'll be correct, and then this will be the other thing I did off stream, which is kind of interesting. I changed how stages are defined. Previously, I had just a, table literal, object literal initialization, where we passed in camera, dimensions and stuff like this, and initialized a bunch of units. That is the obvious solution, and the way I would do this outside of pick-await. But because we're in pick-await, we have these token limits we have to worry about, right? And that solution, even with these trivially small example stages I have here, consumed like 200 tokens per stage, and that wasn't going to cut it. So what I have now I wrote a serializer, this guy here, that parses stage definitions, which are now written in YAML. So each stage now has a YAML file that sits just off to the side of the project. And the serializer iterates over these YAML files, initializes the stage objects, and then serializes every stage into one big string. And the advantage of that approach is that excuse me, again, previously, writing these up as literals would consume hundreds of tokens per stage, linearly so, such that each stage that we added would consume hundreds more tokens. And now what we have is just one big ass string and single token, which looks like this. This is just some toy serialization format I came up with. It's not all that big brained or anything. It's just some delimiters. But anyway, now now no matter how many stages we add, we're gonna pay the constant cost of one token for any number of stages. So that's much more manageable than pick a weight here. But yeah, okay, let's see what this does for us. I think that's what we want. Those are the same numbers, so that is correct. Yeah, let's check stage 2. I think this is correct. The YAML files also contain the script for what these characters are going to say before and after the stage starts. So the final gameplay element that we need to implement beyond this unit repair thing we're doing now is I don't have a mechanism yet for triggering dialogue on stage clear. I need to do that. I might want to refactor a little bit, but I don't foresee that being terribly challenging. I think for the most part the worst is behind us now. At least the worst from a software engineering perspective. The sound effects and music could still be pretty rough for me as a non-musician. Okay, so these are X and Y coordinates that, if I'm not mistaken, should be normalized to the format that Pick08's, I think it's mget, wants to see. mget xy is what? It's the sprite number assigned to a cell in the map. I believe that's correct. So let's just do this and then concatenate mget xy, and we can just spot check this. Um, 71 and 64. So let's see if that looks correct. I think it probably is. I also, off stream again, reorganized the sprite sheet quite a bit. I had to take a few attempts at these characters because they looked terrible at first, and what I realized is, me personally at least, I could not make a character that didn't look like total garbage in fewer than 4x4 sprites here. So these guys are consuming, you know, a lot of our space, but I think it's worth it. 2, 3, 4, and we got 7 tiles left free. These guys, in Pick08, the upper and lower parts of the sprite sheet overlap with the map. So I've given tabs 2 and 3 of sprite memory over to the map because I'd rather have fewer sprites and more stages. And really, I could probably reduce this further if I needed to, and in fact, I might. I'm probably going to iterate some on these map tiles. They're generally pretty good, but I can probably do better. I just don't know how yet. But what do we say? We want to see... This should be 71, it is, and this should be 64, and it is. Okay, great. So now we can get the tile we can get the tile that each unit is on, and what we need is if the unit is on 112, then that unit should get repaired. This is my city tile placeholder. Again, it looks like garbage, but best I can do for now. What I'm kind of thinking about doing is I may try to take a couple of these tiles and use these to make like different eyes for these characters so they can have like a different emotion. I think I can maybe squeeze 2 emotions out of these characters and make that a sprite space. And then just for the sake of visual interest, I may create different city tiles. And then if I'm really desperate for tiles too, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of these tiles that aren't all that important. They add some... They give me the ability to add some nuance to our coastlines and stuff, but I don't know if I really care that much about that. In fact, I'm not even entirely sure that's a good thing. But okay, right now let's do this the dumbest possible way. So let's say local tile is mgetxy, and this is not a token efficient way to do this. Again, I don't care about doing this right at the moment. And if tile is equal to 112, then print h repair unit at so now let's run that, and we should see nothing until... Let's hide this debugging crap now. We should now see no output. Did I not? The hell? Debug show false. What are you doing? What did I must have bumped a sprite. So we can see there's no output when these turns are ending. Repair unit at 1.9. The timing of that looked weird because we saw it print out repair unit at 1.9 and then the animation played, but that's just because it's just because of how the animations work. So that looks weird, but is correct. Let's keep doing this the stupid way. Let's do this the stupid way. What is this? Power? I don't know if I can do this. Let's see. Let's do unit dot power is equal to unit dot power plus 1. I'm still confused. Get heck nerd. How's it going, Numbers? We're getting. Actually, we're not getting hecked tonight. This is actually going pretty smooth so far. I'm implementing a one of the two remaining gameplay mechanisms in this thing that I want to build out, and this allows me to repair units that are in cities when a turn starts. And that logic I just wrote is wrong, but I don't care. So let's confirm we have 10 power in this unit. Move them. Yeah, okay. That did work. I'm still confused about when Lua passes by reference versus value. But I guess it doesn't matter. I don't have to understand this, I just have to confirm that it works. And this did work. Okay. So let's do unit.power equals unit.power is less than 10 and unit.power, is that going to be, I don't know what's fewer tokens. I think that's actually too verbose. If unit.power is less than 10, then unit.power takes the value of unit.power plus 1 and I probably just want to throw all of this into like a units.repair method. That's probably sensible. Again, in a normal environment, I would break this up a bit, but this is not a normal environment. This is pick 08. So we got to be a little flexible. Numbers, how you doing, man? Anything interesting going on in your life? You been doing any racing recently? Don't care about the battle screen. Can dump that. And is that, maybe that's it. And then really here we need to sequence a bunch of animations, I guess. I think that's it. Let's just do this now. Well, here, let's make sure I didn't break it, and then let's move this over. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing this unit power plus 1 instead of the pick 08 unit plus plus, pick 08 provides a plus plus operator that doesn't exist in Lua. And because it doesn't exist in Lua, I don't use it because I'm going to go back and write unit tests for all this stuff, and I don't run the unit tests in the pick 08 environment. So to me, I'd rather spend the extra 2 characters or whatever it is, 2 tokens, but not have difficulty writing unit tests than save that token and give myself a headache. Okay, make sure that works. And because I put this check in there, we won't see it. Let's make that 11 just so I can see this happen one more time. And then we'll be confident that it just does work. There's also some jank in this camera. I need to get that sorted out. Well, here, actually, let's cancel. Oh, the other thing I added too, you can cancel moves now, or rather, it works like Fire Emblem. You can cancel moves. You can undo moves. You cannot undo attacks. Let's confirm this guy's 10 power, no remaining. Park him in a city. He has 10 power and 1 remaining, so he did heal. Let's park him again. He should have, yep, Okay, great. So the limit works. Everything works. That's great. Okay. And units first, draw, deactivate, refresh. I guess I don't care where this goes. Let's just do what are here. Function units dot repair repairs units that are placed within a city at the, well, this thing doesn't know about turns. Yeah. Units dot repair state for unit in. I guess let's not optimize that yet. Let's just let that be. Oh. Let's do that, and let's make that 11 a 10 again, or vice versa, make that 10 and 11 just so we can see it do something. Ten, 0 remaining. $11, 0 remaining. 11, 0 remaining. Okay, so that works. Okay, this is actually coming along pretty quick. Let's optimize this just slightly. And by optimize, I mean reduce the tokens. Been fighting pretty hard to re-up tokens, so I need to be mindful not to throw them away. I guess we should also check that on the second map to make sure I have the stage offset stuff working right. I'll do that in a minute. Okay. What do you think about this? So Yeah, okay. So we want to... No, we don't want to do that. You want to delay 30 frames, sure, make it obvious, half a second. We'll change that later. Delay 30 frames, and then translate the camera to unit cell X, unit cell Y, and then actually here, let's do this. Wait, I know where it is. I just want to... I need to create some like repair effect. I don't have one. So let's use explode, I guess, whatever. Let's explode this unit. A second ago I was complaining about tile counts. I'm happy to say now though sorry, not tile counts, token counts. I'm happy to say now though I don't care about character counts anymore, because something else I did off stream was created a bunch of plumbing to minify these source files that I'm writing, and I can now, using make, switch between building the game with minified or unminified assets depending on if I'm actively developing or if I'm trying to publish a game, you know, that has to meet the export requirements for file size and stuff. So I can comment freely now, and I'm gonna in fact go back, and when I start running unit tests, I'm gonna also start documenting all these functions with LDoc and produce a nice set of auto-generated docs. And I don't care at all about that. It doesn't count against our pickle weight limits, because in the when we're developing, we can ignore the token constraints and stuff. And when we want to build something that we're going to export, we can build it against our minified assets, and then all the comments get stripped out anyway. So that'll be really, really nice, I think. So if this works, the camera should return to our... There should be a delay, then the camera should return to our unit that's in the city. Then that unit should visibly explode, but still be there. And that's only because I don't have a repair animation. Some other night, I need to spend time making the animations nice. Like, I'm still trying to just get all the programming to work. But after I do that, I'm going to start paying attention to the visuals. And I'm line 25. Object cell. Object is nil. Of course it is. That should be state.camera. Cool. Okay. There was some jank there, of course, where the camera jumped somewhere it shouldn't have. I don't immediately know why it did that. I do know that there's been some bug with the camera jumping around. So I think I'm just going to ignore that and not care. Let me do this really quick. Let's take explode. And let's just stub out a repair animation. I'm not in love with this whole sequence and cue thing I've created. It works, but it's not incredible. No camera shake. 15 frames, sure, don't care. Draw the explosion. Don't want this. Don't want this. What's like a light blue color that looks like it's getting repaired? What color is that? Color 12. Yeah, see, I have a note here about camera bugs. So... This should draw an expanding blue ring around our guy when he gets repaired. And he should get repaired exactly one time. He exploded again. Why did he explode? I didn't save this file. Okay. I think that should be correct now. I think I need to do something like this. Let's put that... This is all kind of stupid, what I'm doing here, but let's ignore that and do it anyway. I'm managing this camera focus thing in a way I don't like. But fixing that is its own project. I just want to see if I can paper over that problem for now. We're going to need to spend probably at least one night really making the camera nice. This game has kind of a unique challenge in that the camera potentially moves between each turn, and each turn is only one movement, one unit movement. So that could be... I do it again. So that could be... really jarring if I implement that poorly. There's some other bug I have. Oh, and that's not right. Okay. There are bugs. I don't care. This surprises me, though. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand how Lua, when it passes by reference or value, because this code that worked over there no longer works here. And that is strange to me. No, hang on, wait. Never mind. This is just a stupid bug, mundane bug. Wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So now we should see that this thing gets repaired for 1 hit point and then is capped off and doesn't repair anymore. So that was the repair. We ignore the camera bug. We don't care about that. Okay, good. So that all works. So let's put this back to 10. And by the way, you know, again, this tile equals 112 thing. In, you know, another environment, I would make some nice map that looks up, you know, tables by some string to number or something. So I don't have a hard-coded 112 in there. But again, in Pick a Weight, we don't have the luxury of doing that. I need to hard code this and save the tokens. I'm gonna ignore the weird camera movement for now. That'll be its own project. That being the case, this is done working. So we created a repair animation. We repaired the units when the turn is ending. We created a units repair. Seems fine. Oh. Let's commit that. That was pretty straightforward. We finished the unit repair task. We added a repair animation. We repaired the units on turn end. We added a repair method to the units. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We know there's camera bugs. We'll fix that another night. We know we have hard-coded values for the city. We don't care about that. Let's see what that did to our token limit. So I said that I can now, you know, minify code and stuff automatically. So the way I have this set up is, if you look at this balance of power P8 file, everything, all these assets are now linked from an inc folder. Inc, however, is a symlink that points somewhere. whereby somewhere is either source, our unminified source files, or that build directory. And if we want to make a, and we can see this, so if we go on info now, we can see that, you know, we have, we're at 6920 of 8192 tokens, and encroaching on our character limit, and have already gone past our compressed character limit. And that would be a problem, but if we do make link release, you can see what it's doing. It repoints the symlink of that inc, you know, symlink to our build directory, and it minifies our release assets. And minify is running luamin, which is a Lua minify written in JavaScript. It runs that within our build Docker container and writes the output back to that build directory. So now what we can do is we can do make link release. We've linked our release assets. I'll do let's do make again. I forgot I have this set up. I may not have done this correctly yet. I may not have all the kinks worked out of the make file. Let's do make clean, and that'll blow up everything I have in the build directory. I'm not actually sure if that build directory is updating when it should. So let's do make now, and what is it? Make minify. Oh, right, I did. Yeah, these are expensive, so I did make clean all. I need to streamline this a little bit. Make minify. So now it's minifying all of our source files. I thought I had that where make was going to do the normal dependency graph resolution thing and automatically oh, I know what I need to do. Yeah, this should work. Let's let this finish. I just need to change this make file. If we run make minify again, nothing should happen. Good, okay. Fast. It's already set up. Okay. So anyway, now we have minified our source code, and if we run info again, oh, I also need to do build stages. I don't know why that. It's because I ran minify, right? Okay. I wrote this like yesterday, so it's not fully in my head yet, and I can probably streamline this. So now that we've linked against our production assets, you know, our token limit is, we've only saved 8 tokens. It's not a huge difference. It's nice, it's not a huge difference. But we've saved, you know, 34,000 characters and 8 kilobits. I mean, that's gigantic. So cars and compressed limits, we've got all the headroom we could ever want now, which is wonderful. And let's confirm that the game still works, but I have yet to encounter an issue with the minified assets. As far as I can tell, I did need to make one change to some of the source files to make them compatible with the minifier. But after I did that, no problems. Minifier worked great, and I am grateful to the luamin author for an excellent project. There's going to be a bug here where this guy walks across the water. We don't care about that. The AI is currently go left unless you can't in which case go right, and obviously we're going to do better than that in the end for AI. That all looks great. Let's check out master. Rebase that on repair. Let's link our development assets back. As you can see, now we're blown past our limits again. The reason that I am switching that symlink around instead of just staying on the minified assets is that the stack traces you get when there's a bug in the minified asset is disgusting. It's useless. Doing things this way, though, we get the best of all worlds. We get clean stack traces when we want them, and we get small builds when we want them. So there's really no drawbacks to this other than just a small bit of added complexity in the make file. Push master, make sure our commit is in there, yes. Delete our repair branch. Gonna rebase this LDoc branch I have going. I'm working on that offline. That's the branch where I'm gonna implement LDoc, autodoc generation. Get rebase. Rebase our sound effects branch. We worked on that on stream a little bit, and there's still a lot of work to do, but I'm keeping that in its own topic branch until it reaches a satisfactory state, and then we'll merge it in. What was that, 1 hour? What else can I do tonight that's fairly low impact? The only other thing I want to do, I think, let's let's create a switch that lets us turn the stories on or off, the dialogue at the beginning and end of each stage, because I don't want to have to click through that every time while I'm developing. And I think, you know, in all likelihood, there are going to be players that don't care about the story, right? And they just want to play the game. So I want to give them eventually the option to turn off that stuff in the pick away menu. Maybe like a New Game Plus situation. You know, hopefully they played through the game once, appreciate the story, but maybe they want to play it again and don't want to sit through all the cutscenes or whatever. So let's give them the option to do that. Let's create a no talk branch. We solved the hard problem in computer science of naming things. I don't feel like thinking about this. Let's just call this quiet. And we have a talk object, or talk table. Say must now accept state. The hell? Oh. Okay. And if state.quiet, then return quiet is false. So let's run the game. We should still see characters talking. She talked. Back on, yeah, I'm back on the development. Set quiet to true. Yeah, okay. That worked. I could have maybe ideally also not had that pause at the start of the map. I don't know if I care about that. I don't care about that now, if I do care about that at all, because I'm going to do a refactoring later anyway to hopefully tidy up the main battle loop and unnest some of the needlessly and wrongly nested logic. So eventually, I'm not even going to bother with another song. I'm about to wrap this up here, but eventually I'm going to expose a toggle for changing quiet via the pick await menu. I upgraded pick await to version whatever the newest is, 0 or 8022 or something. And with that new version, there's now an inbuilt mechanism for swapping values in this menu, which is great. So that's what I'll do eventually. I'll just create a menu there. That'll let you turn off the talk if you don't care about it. But for now, let's commit that and probably wrap up then. Let's take a look at that diff. So to stage, we have, when the stage load, we pass in our state object. Our state object now has a quiet property, which defaults to false, and our talk table, our say method, we return early if quiet is true. That looks great. Implement a quiet state flag that allows a player or developer to suppress dialogue at the beginning and end of each stage. Right now, I don't have dialogue at the end of each stage. That's the, I think, final gameplay mechanic to implement. But our switch is in place waiting for us now. Get rebase, no talk. Make sure that commits in there. Looks good. Delete no talk. Okay. So what? The last thing we need to implement is the stage clear talk dialogue. That probably depends on a refactoring of the battle loop, which I may or may not do on stream. I need to think through how complicated that's going to be. I don't really know off the top of my head. It won't be hugely complicated. Just it may or may not be worth our time here. So yeah, next time I stream, I don't actually know what I'm gonna do. I may get into map development. We're reached a point here where the software engineering stuff is in reasonable shape. There's a need for refactoring. There's a need to write unit tests. There's a need to write, LDoc autodocs when the LDoc stuff is implemented. Let's write everything down. Implement LDoc. Refactor battle loop. I may implement like a wipe animation for like when the screen transitions from like the interstitial to a map or the title to a map, or like when the win or loss banner appears. I might create like a wipe animation just so it doesn't just like poof on screen, but rather animates in some way. I might do something. I may not care though, depending on the token limits. Already did the victory loss banner. I need a title screen, and really there I'm just waiting for artistic inspiration. I don't quite know what I want to do. We don't need a victory screen because that's the next interstitial. We have a victory banner. We need like a game victory screen, like a you win the game screen, a credit screen, and a game over screen. We need AI. That's the biggest remaining engineering challenge is AI. I still might lose my mind on that and try to actually do something with a neural net or something. There's a lot of reading between me and that, but I have a lot of time on my hands now, so I might do it. There's camera bugs. There's camera optimizations to be made. There's SFX, there's music. That'll be a whole project. There's a bunch of map design. I mean now again we're kind of reaching the end of the software engineering and we're approaching the beginning of the game design stuff. Or I mean, not that this hasn't been game design up to now, but really we're going to be focusing on maps and stories. Oh, yes. Story. I think that's a pretty good representation of where we are, where we're going. Let's commit that. Rebase one more time. Okay, that'll do it for tonight. Next time we pick this up, I might work on some maps or something. I'm actually not sure. I'll probably do the bug fixing offline. I will do the LDoc stuff offline because that is super boring. Even by programming stream standards, that's boring. We'll do the battle refactoring offline. So yeah, next time I start streaming, it's probably going to be actual game designy kind of stuff, doing some maps and that kind of thing. So I'm going to try to stream more this week. I've been bad about it recently. I've been busy, but I think this will be a good week to get back into it. So, yeah, that'll do it for tonight. Thanks for hanging out. We're getting there, making pretty good progress. Enjoy your evenings, everyone. We will see you next time.